Hey guys, we're the Texas Real Estate Sisters, and we're here with Denisse.
Hi, I'm Denisse Oropeza with Denisse Oropeza's Income Tax Services.
And you guys, if you guys watch her, follow us on YouTube, you have seen videos that we've done with her. And today we're just going to kind of talk about small business and being in the business of tax preparing. So stay tuned.
So what led you to getting to the point to where you opened your actual business? I feel like being young, it's kind of hard to gauge what exactly you want to do. And I can't imagine you were 17, like, I'm going to be a tax preparer when I grow up.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? So what even led you down that path to deciding that?
I mean, for all the people that know me, I know I've been doing this my whole life, obviously. So right after high school, I started working at my aunt's firm, and I was going to college at the same time. I was going to TCC, and I'm like, okay, I'm going to get my basics. I want to go get my business and administration. Sorry, bachelor's of business admin. Yeah. So the traditional route, but I decided, and I'm like, okay, I really like what I'm doing. I really like helping people, and year by year, I always told myself, I'm going to do this. I want to open my own business,
I mean, I feel like I remember like having those conversations with you like so many times. Like, I think I'm ready, but like,
I feel like the scary part is obviously the whole, I guess it's all in your head. You're like, okay, the money, like, will I afford it? Will I be okay on my own? And it's just a lot of things to put into factor. But this year I was like, okay, I have to do this. I have to take this leap of faith, and I have to, because otherwise I'm never going to know. I didn't want to be stuck with what if, So, but yeah, I just wanted to, I guess do better for myself.
So you were with your aunt, working at your aunt's for 15 years?
Basically, I started working with her as a receptionist. I was like 17.
Okay.
And went from there.
Jeez. So what made you think that opening your own business was the way to go for you?
Well, I feel like the way I am, my personality, like, helped me build like that clientele, like that the people like the way I explained the return, the people like the way I paid attention to them, and I feel like, I don't know.
It was just, it
was natural to you.
It wasn't even something you had to think about, really. It just kind of happened.
It was natural. I like what I do. I like, I like helping people, especially, I see a lot of people that they take advantage, like, Hispanic people. And, I just want to help my community. And
I mean, it sounds like such a noble cause, but it's so simple, because I feel like we're both in industries where we see that happen a lot.
Yes, absolutely. So, and all kinds of industries. It happens to any kind of industry.
So we're lucky to be able to want to teach and to want to educate. Yeah,
exactly.
No, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Shit, I had a question.
No, and I feel like that's something that, not that you can't learn, but I feel like if you don't have that in you of wanting to do that for people, even if you learn, you don't want to do it. You know what I mean? To me, it's like that has to come naturally.
We have that drive, right?
We have that drive. Is it easier to be on your own? Is there any misconceptions that because I mean, this is your first season on your own, right?
It is.
So, is there anything that you were coming in having an expectation of, and you're kind of like, oh, what the hell? Like, that's not what I expected at all. Or, damn, this is a lot harder. I'm working a lot more than I thought I would.
It's definitely not easier. I knew I was going to put in the hours. I knew I was going to be here from morning to night. It's not easier. But again, it goes back to, I love what I do. I know what I'm doing. So, I knew my first year was going to be the hardest. So no, I mean, I knew I was going to learn a lot more. I mean, I know everything. I don't know what I'm saying.
I'm sorry. I know everything.
I know everything. No, but yeah, I mean, it's definitely harder, but at the same time, I'm, 100% glad that I made this decision to go on my own,
So what do you say on average, like, you're working weekly?
now.
Yeah, during an average busy
when
season.
things are normal busy season.
Normal?
Right now it's kind of an outlier.
I mean, we're talking about 8 to 8 Monday through Saturday, and Sunday, you know, from 8 to 6, maybe 8 to 5.
So you're open during tax
yeah.
season. You're open every day
During tax season, basically up until April, before all this hit us. I was basically living in here.
Okay.
Yeah.
Damn, that's crazy.
Right.
I mean, I feel like you think like, oh, I need to go get my taxes, but I don't think we think about the other side. Like,
Of
shit,
the
you guys
people
are working
preparing their
24/7 during that
and
time.
it's to me, it's like it's all packed in one-ish quarter, like the first quarter of the year. It's like you guys are hit super strong, and you guys are working every day. I feel like a lot of people may be wanting to come into the tax business. Do you think that they're prepared for that? Some people that you see come in and they're like, oh my gosh, we're working these long hours.
I mean, it's good.
Back to back. You know what I mean? Like people coming in back to back.
I think it would be good to somebody that for someone that wants to start and they want to learn. I mean, you definitely get, you know, a lot of experience, and I feel like after one season you'll know if this is for you or not.
Yeah.
You know, if you could handle it or not.
And do you need like a license, or like how do you
basically need to be registered with the IRS and get what's called a PTA number.
Okay.
Yeah. Obviously, when we go on our own, we need a couple more things that we need to register our business with. But other than that, if you're wanting to work for H&R Block or here or anywhere else, we're just going to require that you're registered with an IRS and have a PTA number.
Okay, and is there
It's
cost?
free.
Oh, it's free.
It's free.
Damn,
Yeah.
that's crazy. I had no idea.
I mean, obviously, there's a couple courses you can take online, you know, how to, I can train you here, you know, it's you could get a bunch of training.
You're like, that's the easy part.
Yeah,
that's the easy part.
And I mean, now with like access to YouTube, and you can look up a ton of stuff.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And is there, I know obviously you can't talk for everyone, but like with IRS stuff and tax information, is it super particular for each state? Or is it pretty consistent when it comes to all of that?
As far as state, I mean, it's pretty consistent. I know a couple states, like for example, Texas doesn't do a state tax return. A couple states do. That's one of the differences.
One of the outliers.
Yes, I mean, there's a couple laws that are different, like in California or, you know, other states. But as far as the basic federal tax return, for the most part, is
the same. Oh, cool. So you could like literally move here from somewhere.
Oh, absolutely.
And that's
be an easy business to get into.
That's interesting because I feel like in not a lot of other businesses where you have to get licensed by your state, you could just move around. Because even us as real estate agents, like if I want to go work a deal in Oklahoma, I have to get licensed in Oklahoma.
Really?
You know, I want to work somewhere like Louisiana because we border them. I'd have to get licensed.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, like, and that's for us. It's important because it's like protecting the state's real estate agents. So we don't get our, you know, someone doesn't come take our business away. As far as like, we know the area. We know Fort Worth, we know Dallas, we know Arlington. Someone who's coming from Oklahoma doesn't know them, but easily could bring a client and do that business. But that kind of protects the client and also protects our business in each state. So that someone who's knowledgeable is actually doing good business. You know what I mean?
That makes sense.
So, and you're not coming in there throwing you and you're like living in some terrible area because they have no idea what the city is like, you know?
That's good to know. Okay.
Yeah, so I assumed it would be that way with you guys, but it makes sense that it's not because it's so general. Yeah.
That's surprising though, just because it is like the government.
Yeah,
I would think they'd be like even more strict than they are on
I mean, if I
licenses.
have, you know, clients coming in from California or from a different state, it will specify on their W-2 how much California took out, or Oklahoma, or whatever state, you know, they worked out. And then I file their state return here.
Because it's so organized from the front end,
that
it's easy to process and do all that on the back end if they have their things in order. Yeah, so we know, I mean, being growing up with people that kind of run their own businesses and do for themselves, we see how like there's a limit to how much you can do. After that, you kind of get people. You need, you know, if you want to grow. If you're cool being where you're at, then you don't ever, like Nathaly said, scale your business. You never think
or outsourcing. It's also scary. You know, when you have been in business by yourself for so long, it is kind of scary outsourcing or hiring somebody on.
Yeah, because like you said, like you built that clientele for 15 years. So it's scary to be like, if I bring this person in, are they going to continue to uphold?
I mean,
like,
if I teach them my ways, if I show them how to, you know.
Yeah. You're able to kind of mold them.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Mold them and teach them how, you know, how clients like to be, you know, explained, how, you know, to educate them correctly. And I'm pretty sure, you know, the clients will be okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
See, so you're already like pretty trusting in the fact that.
Yeah. I definitely want to grow my business. I mean, I definitely see myself, you know, maybe with 1, 2, maybe 3 prepares. You know.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I definitely want to do that in the future.
Oh, that's so exciting.
Yeah, no, and another thing, I mean, it's really important, obviously. The IRS always offers, you know, throughout the year, continuing education credits, so you can go and learn about the new laws and new credits, because it's changing. Every year changes, you know, something changes, and that's really important for us to keep up with that.
Yeah, I feel like that's so important, even as consumers, to know that the businesses or the places where you're getting a service, that you're getting the best that you can, you know what I mean? Like, you don't want an agent to sell your house who hasn't brushed up on laws or even what's going on because they've been like buried in their house, like not keeping up with anything, and especially like taxes, you know what I mean? Laws and stuff changes all the time. So I think it's, to me, like, admirable people that have been in the business so long, like you have, that still care enough to stay like not on trend, right? But like just keep up with what's happening.
Are there agents that kind of do a half-ass job?
I feel like I think it comes down to just generally in every industry, there's people who
put more effort into.
There's people who,
or you think you know everything.
Yes, there's two people. There's people who think, okay, I've learned everything. I know all the things. There's nothing more I can learn or I can do.
Yeah, it's like,
and right now, being in the position that we are with all the craziness going on in the world is a perfect example of you don't know everything. And right now, there's something you can be learning, looking up on YouTube.
There's social media.
There's something that you can be learning right now while you don't have shit to do.
Right.
That you didn't know before. So I think people like that only have a limit. Your income becomes a limit, and there's only so much you can do when you have that mentality. As business evolves and as things change with like social media or even fucking TikTok, like it's been so insane because it started as this little BS thing that kids in high school and middle school were doing, and now it's this freaking phenomenon that, like, I literally follow a psychologist on there that shares all kinds of stuff. It's like a niche.
Yeah.
You can do so many different things, and people just see it as this stupid ass little TikTok.
People think it's like a joke, but there's actually people that like educate on there. And I think it's funny you say that, because last time in a group, like an agent had asked, oh, like, what social medias are you guys using? And someone young, like they were an older person, someone young went on there and was like, oh, you know, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. And they're like, what are you doing on TikTok? Like, just wasting your time making little videos. But I see like some of these huge accounts.
It takes 15 seconds or 30 seconds.
Yeah, but I see these huge accounts that are like educating people or just informing people. And like there's people commenting on there. There's people liking it and sharing it. So I think that's so like small-minded, and a lot of older people, they think that way. And even some of our parents, like, we're like, hey, like, technology's changed, like, it's time to, you know,
just because you see a bunch of bullshit on TikTok doesn't mean that there's not a more evolved side of it where you can actually use it for your business.
Right.
Yeah. Even if it is something fun and silly, they're getting to see the person behind the behind the business, right? So they get to, like, you kind of make yourself more personable and more real to the people,
because we're real people, you know, we're real people, and I feel like it is easy to be looked at like, oh, Denisse, you know, like you're just
professional,
we're robots, and we are too, and this and that, but it's like, no, we're real people, like we're moms, your sisters, we're this, we're that, we have hobbies, and
that's how that felt there.
I don't know, I just feel like it is important to show that we're alive. You know what I mean?
No, and I mean, just sharing that you think you value knowledge and learning as much as you can about your business just already sets you apart from other people that do the same business that you do. You know, like making sure you want to educate people, but also you're
unique and you're So for everybody, I know there's a handful of people that have not filed their return yet. Just know, just know, you know, they did extend it. They're giving you guys an additional 90 days, so you'll have until July. 15 to file, and it's not required to file that extension.
Okay, so we don't have to do anything.
No, no, you just have that automatic extension up until July 15th to get all your stuff together and come by and visit me or wherever it is you file.
So are you still doing like appointments here if they call in?
Yeah.
I know some people like to do stuff virtually just because of the time being.
I do. I help either virtually or I do appointments. I'm actually doing appointment only right now, and I make sure to keep all my precautions, everything.
Okay, good.
Clean and
keeping your 6 foot distance. Yeah. So okay, well that's awesome. That's good to know that you're working with people and making sure they're comfortable with everything that's going on. Yeah. Well, we appreciate you again. This is what, our 3rd video together?
Yes.
So,
I enjoy it.
like always, thank you. Don't forget to like and subscribe, guys. And we're going to link all of her information below so you can give her a follow. And, you know, she shares a bunch of great information so that you guys can stay up to date with what's going on.
Right.
We'll see you next week.
Bye.
Bye.